If we shrink these circles back, we find the location of the hive at different times.
And each time the hive is on the river.
That could be how they moved it. All right. This is where it all started. This is where the hive is now.
Des Moines. Makes sense. High population density.
All right, everybody, this is the 247th episode of Rock Hard Caucus, your favorite and only podcast in the state of Iowa. I made a mistake. I forgot to send Evan the link to be a part of this episode. So I don't know if he's going to be here or not. I kind of just hit record before he was here. And so this might be an interesting one. Fortunately, we had a guest lined up, so it's not just going to be me talking alone for an hour, which would be horrible. That would be a terrible podcast. I really think that solo podcasts are a mistake. I think you should have at least one other person to bounce off of. It's got to be somewhat conversational to keep my attention anyway. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. Evan will hopefully be joining us, but we have a guest. And I should have asked you to make sure I knew how to pronounce your name properly before I introduced you, before I started recording. So I'm just going to attempt now. We've got Leila Staton on the horn here. How'd I do?
You did such a good job. Better than most.
Yeah. And Leila is running for Iowa House in District 54, right?
This is true.
Okay. And that is Hardin and Grundy counties.
And Blackhawk County, part of it. Like the western third.
Yeah, a little bit of Blackhawk County. Okay, so before we get into like the politics and the like policies and the reason you're running and all that, what is life like in the 54th district of Iowa?
It's nice. It's quiet. A lot of families. You have to drive like 25 minutes to a grocery store that has a box of Cheerios for less than $13. Most people leave the towns to go to work. Like, it's a bunch of bedroom communities. Mm-hmm. And, like, if you're lucky, you'll have, like, a Mexican restaurant or a pizza restaurant in your town.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
which I'm fortunate to have. I'm in Rhinebeck. So
Rhinebeck, okay.
Yeah, so we have a pizza restaurant and a Mexican restaurant.
Okay,
yeah, I live
so
in, it's almost...
It's a cultural center.
Southernish.
Oh, yeah, I see it, yeah. It's like a little bit east of Grundy Center. Okay.
Yes. It's like 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
All right. And, well, Leila, I think the thing that a lot of people notice about you first when they, like, if they come across you on social media or whatever, they find out that they're looking through the list of Democratic candidates for office this year. They probably notice that you're very young.
It's true. I'm 22. I'm pushing 23 now. Just
okay,
crazy.
So you're almost 23.
In October.
You're about to be old.
I'm about to be unk.
So I was, I'm sure people ask you this all the time, but I was wondering, like, do you get a lot of, like, condescension because you're, like, a young person trying to get elected?
Not usually. It's a lot less than I expected before I announced my run. And even like I'm still a little bit surprised by the lack. The people who do pursue that, which it happened like this morning. I posted about my current representative voting to basically gut cancer research for kids yesterday. And his bestie in the legislature came to my comments and was like, but you wouldn't understand the Republican agenda.
Because they're too young to understand it.
And that was like a little backhanded, because I'm too young to understand it. So it's things like that are extremely laughable. But it is a lot less than I expected.
Who's his bestie? Who is the person who was in your comments?
His bestie represents the parts of Hudson in the district that like butts up against the district I'm running to represent. His name's Derek Wolf.
Derek Wolf.
They sometimes wear matching hats.
Okay, so they actually are like friends.
I think so.
Is it the state trooper hat? Because I know, okay, you're running against Joshua Makers. He's a state trooper.
Yes.
Are those the hats you're talking about? Okay.
They're not actually matching. My opponent wears the state trooper hat, and then Derek Wolf wears like a cowboy hat sometimes. Which style, I guess.
Yeah, Derek Wolf. I feel like he flies under the radar. Which one is that?
Yeah. Oh, I forget
is Wolf
which
with
district.
An E?
I thought it was
Maybe not.
ULF, but I could be wrong. Do a quick Google.
Yes. Oh, yeah, and the picture that comes up is him in a cowboy hat when I look him
Of course.
up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I see him here at like a rally in Waterloo at his Facebook page, Wolf for Iowa, WULF. Okay. Well, we shouldn't get too sidetracked with him because he's to your west. You don't need to worry about him right now.
Yeah. Irrelevant.
But you were talking about your opponent, Joshua Makers, voting to gut cancer research. Is that what you said?
Yep. It was a state bill yesterday. It eliminates some of the funding for specific research for cancerous children. It's so sad.
That's not a priority.
Clearly not. I don't see health or healthcare as being one of my opponent's priorities, because neither of us have a primary, unless they were to hold like a special convention, which
Sure.
I doubt will happen.
Right.
But
Yeah, so I mean, the primary hasn't happened yet, but you are presumably going to be the Democratic nominee in November for this district.
yeah, we haven't had a Democrat run to represent this district technically ever.
Okay, I was kind of wondering about that too.
Yeah, it's historically unopposed. They redistricted in 2020. It went into effect in 2022, and we've never had a Democratic candidate run.
Mm-hmm.
But even before that, it was very rare. I think the last Democrat to run to represent the district that covered Grundy County because of the redistricting was Dennis Evans. And he actually lives down the street from me. I've met him. He's chill.
So is he supportive of what you're doing, following in his footsteps?
Yeah, I'm not following in anyone's footsteps, but
okay, I'm glad to hear that.
He's like a member of the Grundy County's Central Committee.
Mm-hmm.
And so I see him sometimes. I'm usually at almost every meeting. Sometimes I have to miss them, but he's there sometimes, and he's nice.
Good. So this not having a Democratic nominee for a while, I imagine the part of the state where you live is like fairly conservative. It
is. It skews pretty conservative. The biggest voting block in the district is independently registered voters.
Mm-hmm.
So like similar to the rest of the state, but I've door knocked. Oh God, I don't know how many. It's over 1,000 doors now, and I've talked to thousands of people in the district, and people are just excited to have options on their ballot. Like they haven't had a candidate knock on their door before, and so they're just excited. Well, awkward at first because they don't know how to react, but they're excited because someone cares enough.
Do you catch people like hiding from you as you knock on the door?
Sometimes, which usually they're younger people doing that, which I find hilarious. But I don't know if I would do the same thing. A candidate has never knocked on my door before. Yeah. Also, like, I think younger people are less likely to just open the door to a stranger. Like, in the same way that,
reasons.
Right, for safety reasons, but also in the same way that I don't answer unknown numbers.
Yeah.
That call me.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of like that.
Well, honestly, I feel like that is anybody under the age of probably 50 now with the phone thing. Because phones are not really they're not really usable in that way anymore. You can't just you can't just answer any phone call you receive.
It's true, which makes call time so much fun. It does not make you go crazy at all.
Is that part of? Yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah, that's so. I don't really do that like phone banking stuff. I feel like I don't want to be on either end of that, really.
No, not really. It is kind of like a requirement. Like, so there's phone banking and then there's like dialing for dollars. And in my case, I do both. The dialing for dollars really sucks because I already hate asking people for money. But thank God I'm asking people for money and not like, I don't even know how to get a hold of like lobbyists to donate. I don't really mess with that.
I think they probably seek
They contact
you out.
you.
That's how it works.
Yeah,
I think.
I get emails all the time. Like the NRA has emailed me a few times.
Really?
Oh yeah, the NRA, this pack that's for health choice, but it's for vaccines.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I've gotten quite a few.
To be clear, this is like vaccine skepticism, right? That's
Yes.
the purpose of this pack. Okay.
Yeah.
You like vaccines, I assume?
I am a supporter of the vaccines. I understand
Okay.
that some people can't get vaccinated, and I'm all for people protecting themselves, like immunocompromised people, etc.
There are
Don't
some
get
valid
vaccinated
reasons.
if your doctor says no. But I am
Most
a
people
vaccine
should,
supporter.
though. Yeah, most people
Yeah.
probably should.
To protect those very people.
Right. Yeah.
I digress.
Okay. I think it seems like we both are on the same page. We've both accepted certain aspects of medical science that were
Yes.
forced on the country a few years ago. Actually, I was thinking about that before we got into this. Like, you were like a teenager when COVID started.
I was a sophomore in high school when we went on quarantine.
Okay, so did you like finish high school?
Yes.
But
Yeah, it was just weird after.
It was like kind of like fake, right? Like not real school after that point. Like, teaching was broken, right?
Only for like a little bit.
Okay.
Like, so I think from what I remember, which don't trust this fully, I remember like quarantine happening. Like, don't come to school tomorrow because everyone's getting sick. And then like 2 weeks later, they were like, okay, we're going to go to Zoom classes.
Right.
And nobody did them. But then like the next year, people came back to class, like in real life.
Right.
And everyone just like did normal school then. We just had to like repeat a couple of not even repeat, just like redo that section of class. But yeah.
Yeah,
it wasn't too intense.
I was sort of like forced to return to the classroom in the fall of 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the derecho happened, which like shut down some of the schools in Cedar Rapids is what I remember. And to me, that was like divine punishment for forcing everyone to go back into the in-person school while the pandemic was still raging. It's all coming back to me now.
Right. Yeah. Thinking about COVID is so weird. And also, like, talking about the acts of COVID with people who are older than me, who were, like, not in high school when it happened, is also so weird. Because, like, the grade above me didn't get their prom, and so they're still, like, mad about that. You never hear the end of it. And their graduation, which, like, fair. That's, like, a big moment, I guess. I guess they both are. I'm not here to invalidate anyone's feelings, but I hear about it a lot. But then for me, it's, like, I just had this weird break where like stimulus money for my family was nice.
Yeah.
And then I went back to school and I got my prom and my graduation. So, and then like people more older than me than that just like got a break from work and their stimulus money was also nice.
Yeah.
Or we had like, lost family members and that's heartbreaking. But
yeah, people did die from COVID. Don't forget that.
Don't forget.
I got on unemployment, so I had a good year.
Right. Yes.
But so this was like 6 years ago. We're talking about what should be like a fading memory, like not necessarily like something we have to think about every day. But politics still is like those kids who didn't get their prom, like very much driven by like resentments from what happened during COVID. And I'm sure that you are like encountering that. Like that's part of the reason some people have gone so far right is as like a reaction against any sort of COVID mitigation that infringed on their liberty.
Right. Like from vaccines to like being so isolated and being online constantly. Like I grew up with social media. I can't really remember a time where I wasn't and not a child. And like, I don't know how I dodged the red pill pipeline, but a lot of people I like graduated high school with did not.
You are a woman, which I think...
I am a woman.
Yeah.
Which is a little different. However, the red pill pipeline for women does exist. It is never talked about. And, like, it is completely different. But also the same. Like, the workout content, they're like, no one wants big arms. Do Pilates, core only. No one wants big arms. Don't build strength. just burn calories. And then it also like shoots over and it's like, protect your peace, queen.
Yeah.
Stop caring about others. Don't concern yourself with that mess. And it is very real. And like, I'll still get the content, but I know that that's like a red pill pipeline. Like,
so you've kind of inoculated yourself against that sort of mindset.
Yeah. Well, I care a lot. So if I'm constantly caring about how much or talking about how much I care, and then I stop caring about others to protect my peace, I'd be a hypocrite. Also, like, it is like there are red flags for like the content that's pushed toward men. I try my best to talk about the red pill pipeline with women and like post about it online where people would like get into these gates all the time because it isn't as big, at least from my perspective, I guess, isn't quite as talked about. So I'm like, this exists. Please don't be this person because then you suck, kind of.
Yeah. 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 I mean, there's so much content being pushed on people on YouTube, especially to just make you a less empathetic person and to, focus on your own. Well, I guess now it's more about like getting really into gambling. Seems to be a big part of online culture now. And
like with the gambling, what do you mean we're betting on elections? Like I'm still not over that, and I'm still mad about it. I'm mad that that's legal.
Yeah, right. Well,
I don't think
is it, or is it like a weird gray area? I don't know if it's like strictly legal.
I think all legality is some weird gray area with the amount of loopholes that exist for everything. So I don't know.
Okay, so for transparency's sake, I'm 35, so I'm a bit older than you. I do feel like when I was like becoming an adult, the environment of like the law and politics, it still felt like there was like a set of rules. And I feel like that has been completely dismantled. Like what actually existed is dismantled, but the facade that was holding everything up has been stripped away in the time since. And so you have grown up in a world where like it's pretty obvious that there aren't really rules.
Right.
Is that like how you feel about it?
Yeah, I think well, okay, I was in high school during Trump 1.0, which was just crazy. And I've always been super like politically involved, I guess. And I remember after Trump winning, I would cry just like randomly because I hated that he was just like this womanizer who quoted "grab him by the pussy." And that's like, at the same time that those quotes were like circulating the internet, I was in like a careers class where they were like, don't post this on social media. You're not going to get hired at a job. And like, it just felt so silly and so hypocritical to me. And so that was kind of my first like, oh my God, this is reality. Like, this is how things actually are. Because like before that, I would just like, I saw the election on TV where Obama won and people were dancing out in the street. So it's like, there's people dancing in the street because of a victory. And then there's people quoting heinous things. And those were like the two sides that I saw. And so for a long time and for a couple of years, I was like, Democrats. Democrats are the answer.
Right.
Like, I'm so Democrat. And then I graduated and I went to college and I was like, Democrats really aren't that great, are they? Some of them. Like,
so you were in college like during Biden, right?
Yeah. I was in college during Biden. I was in high school I was in middle school when Trump won the first time, and I was in high school when Biden won.
Right. Okay.
In 2020. So,
well, that election and the subsequent presidential term probably did not. I mean, that probably stripped away some of the veneer of like the hope of the Democratic Party.
Yeah, a little bit. And then I was just like, okay, maybe I'm an independent. And I thought that, like, for a while, I was like, oh, an independent is just somebody who's right smack in the middle. Because I'm like, because I understand, like, Republicans being angry about other people receiving things when they're not.
Like what kind of things?
Like, Specifically, and this is not how I feel now. I did research.
Yeah.
I grew as a person, but I was like,
Sure.
okay, I understand why they're mad that illegal immigrants are getting free healthcare. Like, I get that. I get why they're angry, because where's their free healthcare? And then I was like, but wait, where's their free healthcare?
Yeah.
Wing! And no, I want everyone to have free healthcare. I don't care if you're a legal immigrant or not. I really,
yeah.
I just don't care. I want everybody to be happy and to be safe.
Yeah, it should.
Or like, have a
healthcare
chance
should
at
be just like a thing where you walk into a building and you receive healthcare.
Right. Yeah.
Instead, it's like pretty impenetrable unless you like grew up on your parents' insurance going to the doctor all the time. It's pretty hard to even like start going to a doctor now. I don't know if anybody out there is like trying to figure that whole mess out currently, but
yeah, I grew up on Medicaid,
mm-hmm.
which was really nice. It was really good. I could go to the doctor whenever I needed to. I had to like listen to my mom complain about it switching every few months because of the privatization of it. So it would like switch from company to company. So
Iowa privatized Medicaid while you were a kid, right?
Yeah, I was a child. Like, didn't Terry Branstad do that? Like his first day in office, executive order.
Well, he was in office a long, long time ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know that it's private, and it was done via executive order.
Yeah, it was 2016. It was towards the end of Branstad's last run as governor. Yeah.
So I'd hear her complain about it, switching every few months, and you have to keep track of it. Like, or the next time you go to the doctor, they're just going to send you some random bill, even though you do have health insurance, and it's just like an even bigger mess if you don't keep track.
Mm-hmm.
And I could go to the doctor whenever I wanted, whenever I needed. I wouldn't just like go for fun. But then I got to college and I was still on Medicaid, and I was like, cool, I'm going to be on Medicaid until I'm 26 because that's what I'm supposed to. Like, my mom is a single mom. My dad's in prison. I should be set until at least I graduate, but until I'm 26. And then I randomly got kicked off of it, and they didn't tell me. And so I had like gone to the neurologist because I have chronic migraine to like go in for my follow-up on my monthly injection. And then I get this bill that's like, I think it was $8,000.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is funny. And so I sat on the phone all day to like try and sort this out because this can't be right. And I had just gotten kicked off of Medicaid for like kind of no reason. They didn't really give me a reason. They were just like, yeah, that happens. And I was like, okay, cool. That's so awesome. I love that for me. And then I worked at like some job that offered me health insurance, and it was horrible.
Yeah.
And then I was like, this isn't even insurance. I can't even go to the doctor. Why am I paying for this bullshit?
Yeah.
And I like got rid of it. So I'm like, I haven't had health insurance since.
There you go. Well, yeah, you can.
Because it's cheaper not to.
Look, there are so many people in this situation that it's easier to just not have it and just hope nothing bad happens to you.
Right. Yeah. I'm like, if I were to get hit by a car and need an ambulance, hopefully like they'll hit me hard enough so I have the cheaper option.
just leave me. Yeah. There are people like yeah, they're like, don't give me an ambulance. Don't take me to the hospital. I will just deal with this. And then they're probably like maimed for life.
Mm-hmm. Like, I volunteer in my local fire department, and the amount of people who are like, I don't want the ambulance to take me to the hospital. Yep. It's so valid, but also like, I want to help you. So it kind of puts me into a weird position.
Yeah, because if you help them, you're dooming them to a like crippling medical.
I'm hurting them in a different way. Yes.
yes.
Where it's like, do no harm, doing harm either way.
Yeah. Right.
So it is like a little like ethically challenging. And I think that most healthcare workers kind of feel that way, especially like before the Medicaid cuts from that big, beautiful bill, but especially after. It's terrifying. Yeah.
Okay. So you volunteer with the fire department, and you have this origin story of like, single mother on Medicaid, all this stuff. Were you like preparing for a life in politics from birth? Is that like the deal here?
From birth, no. But as like the cards stacked, it just kind of pushes you that way. Like if you're stubborn, like if you're a stubborn person who's had things happen in their life, you're most likely to like try to help other people get out of those things or help them through it. So like I work for a nonprofit that's dedicated to ending domestic violence or helping people flee specifically.
Right.
And so it kind of pushed me into that space. But it also, I think for a long time, I've just wanted to help people. And I'm just like, any way I can help, just let me know. And I've always been politically involved. I didn't think I would run this young. I knew I'd probably run for something at some point. Not like, what's my next move? But in a way that I've just always admired, like the change that can be done. But also not thinking that I'm not qualified for that. Like, that's not for me. Right, I'm just like this meek little nobody that's like not worthy of being elected by a group of people. But I co-founded like an advocacy organization that's local to the Cedar Valley. And the popularity of just like doing something, like having something to do and having something to focus on, just kind of pushed me to like, you know what, who cares? Like, I'm going to try.
Right. Nobody else is doing it, clearly, for the past several years. No one else is doing
it. Somebody needs to.
Yeah.
But I also, like, I had this view that, like, only a certain type of person is able to run for, like, any seat, especially a partisan seat. And, like, growing up, I'd see, like, all of my city councilors are all old white guys. And, like, my state legislators are old people and also white. Granted, I'm white too. So,
yeah,
like,
listeners at home,
take that with a grain of salt.
But she is white.
I am white.
Too excited.
Yeah, this is rural Iowa. But like, I just had like this view of like, oh, that's not for me. Like, I wish it could be for me, but it's not for me. And then I paid more attention to other people who were running for state offices, and I'm like, okay, these are just like normal people who have jobs that like want to represent their community. I want that. And so kind of getting more involved in my community and also how I grew up. And then also kind of getting this view of just like, who cares? Like, I care enough to like put my face on the internet and get death threats every other day.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Like, and so I did. And honestly, the character development and like, it builds your confidence a lot to run for office, which was good for me because it was so like, I felt like I needed to walk on eggshells at the beginning of my run. And then one day.
How long have you been doing this, by the way?
I kicked my campaign off a year ago almost, May of last year, end of April, early May. And I thought I had to like walk on eggshells. And then one day I was just like laying in bed and scrolling Twitter. And I had seen like all of these centrist Democrats that just piss me off. I'm like, okay, so you're going to fold again. You're going to fold again, and you're going to fold again, and you're going to fold us back into regression. You're going to help like accelerate Republicans to do this. But I was being exactly what I was critiquing, kind of. I also wasn't, you
were afraid to like cross certain lines. Right.
I was afraid to like be bold almost. And then I was just like, I'm going to talk about what I believe in, and that's going to be fine. Like, it can't be, no one, like, I was just thinking about it, and I was like, it's more admirable when Republicans at least say their quiet parts out loud, because at least they believe in them. Like, at least you know they believe in what they're saying.
Yeah. They've been getting a lot more openly racist lately.
I know. And it's terrible.
But there is not, I'm not saying I respect them for doing that, but it is valuable that it's not really like hidden at all anymore. Like, a veil has been completely lifted from that. Like, they are just
like, at least
open,
it's authentic,
proud racists. And now we know. Now there's like really no plausible deniability for anyone.
Yeah. And I don't agree with it, but they're like, they say it with their full chest. They believe in it and they're going to act upon it.
I still believe, like, bottom line, most people are not cool with like open, blatant bigotry. So
Yeah.
This becoming more like quote unquote acceptable to say in public is probably a net good, as most normal people react negatively to that behavior.
100%. Like, so like that's admirable, but these centrist Democrats, you never know where they're going to land on something. And I was just like shy. Also, I wasn't like, let me play the middle and get elected, but I was like a little nervous to like be bold or take like a solid stance on certain issues, because I'm like, oh, I'm running to flip this district. Do I need to go to the right? And then I was thinking about it, and like Democrats continue to, like, when Republicans are trying to flip a blue district, they go further to the right to expand their electorate. And when Democrats are running to flip a red district, they move to the right and like shrink their electorate.
They pose with the sheriff. That's like their number one thing to do. Okay, yeah, I like this because, you know, you're kind of sacrificing a lot of your safety, perhaps, comfort to put yourself in this position. Like you said, you get a lot of death threats. Anything good recently? Any good death threats coming your way?
No, they're always all the same. Like, it's either like, oh, I hope you die, which isn't really a death threat, but I like to be a little dramatic.
I mean, or, that is the intent, but it is technically not a death threat.
Right, exactly. Or I'll get the like vile, like, oh, you deserved to be raped when you were a child. You deserve to be raped. And like, what are you going to do? I have a husky and he's very protective. So what are you going to do? Come to my small town? Everybody and their mother on this street is going to come outside and they're going to watch if you show up. Like, I am not afraid. Also, like...
And you got the NRA in your inbox, so...
Exactly. No, but like, I'm genuinely not afraid, like, at all. At first I was, because I was like, oh, these people are real. And like the day that Charlie Kirk got shot, people like, there was like a huge rally, and I was speaking at the rally. Rabid
for a few days after that. Let's calm down a little bit.
Yeah, thank goodness, honestly, but like kind of. But I was speaking at a rally like a couple days later, and I was like, okay, I know the crowd at this rally is going to be a lot bigger than the one at that Charlie Kirk debate, master debater event. And that did make me a little nervous. Like, I don't want to be killed before I even have the opportunity to be elected. All right. Like, and of course, like, anyone who runs for office takes a risk of being assassinated. That is just like a reality, especially Democratic women.
Yeah. It happened in Minnesota, not too far away.
It happened in Minnesota. Yes, exactly. So, which also happened like the day before a No Kings rally.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is crazy to think about. But like, that is a risk you take, but you can't let that dictate. Like, because then, like, if it does happen and you weren't able to like be bold on your stances, what do you have to show?
Right. Yeah. What I was saying was like, you are putting yourself in a somewhat dangerous position in some ways, but you've also elevated yourself, and you do have like some responsibility. Like, people are going to hear what you say, they're going to see the stuff you're posting, and you're running as a Democrat in an area that's like pretty not interested in Democrats, it seems, and you have the opportunity to like open a window there. Like, this is what politics could be, if you ask me, and you're like broadening the horizons of like what people see as possible, which, you know, like, what do you think your chances are of winning, Leila?
I think that's a very loaded question, but I do think that a Democrat not running at least a while before me works in my favor, because I get to pick the party. I get to describe the party. I get to be the party in my area.
Yeah, they've abandoned, so they have no track record. Yeah, and like Grundy County, the county that I live in, didn't have a functioning Democratic Party until a year ago, and guess who built that back up? Right. Like, my mother and I. So it's
progressives.
Your party. Yeah.
So like, this is our party. Like, I'm not gonna let like these weird, like, centrist, I hate the word establishment, but I'm going to use it for the lack of a better description, Democrats tell me what my party is. And like, that is exactly how I get like pumped up for events. Like, I'm like, this is my party. I get to describe this party to people who haven't had the party in how long? In years.
The state party has abandoned your community. So like you dictate the terms now.
Exactly. And so that is like an advantage. And it also gives me a little bit more opportunity to be more creative with how I have things, because what are you going to compare me to?
Right.
And I think that's like what it all boils down to, is that I don't have someone who ran right before me that I'm like being compared to.
The baggage. Yeah.
Exactly. Also, like, I grew up here. I didn't like, I have nothing against people who are running to represent places they didn't grow up, but I did grow up with these people, and I know how they talk. I know what they care about, and I know what they believe in. And so that also works in your favor while running to represent X community. Yeah. So, yeah. Sorry, so I ramble a lot.
No, this is perfect. I mean, you're perfect for a podcast. I mean, I wasn't trying to say like, Leila, you're going to lose. What I was getting at was like, if you run this like sort of safe Democrat style campaign and you lose, you have both like narrowed the scope of like what people think Democrats can do, or what any politician can do in your area. You've narrowed the scope. You've like decreased future possibilities, and you lost anyway. It's like, what? So you, by being more bold, even if you do lose, you have sort of like, you've accomplished something at least, right?
Right. Exactly.
So tell me, what's your most extreme position?
My most extreme position?
Yeah. Are you a radical?
I don't know. I think this might get clipped, and I'm gonna get slandered online. No, it really depends. Like, I guess we do these candidate sessions with the organization that I co-founded, and when people are asked like their wokest take, and people are like, I support Medicare for all, I roll my eyes. I'm like, really? I feel like Medicare for all is the conservative position, like genuinely. Not conservative as the party, but genuinely conservative. Like, that is the cheapest option. I guess, like, I'm like trying to think about all my crazy positions, but I would argue that, like, so on the topic of socialism, when conservatives talk about it, or people who don't know what socialism actually is, they talk about how it just like breeds this amount of laziness.
Yeah. Right.
But I would argue that the laziness already exists. So why is that like the focal point of whether it's worth it or not? Like, these billionaires don't work.
Right.
Like,
do you think that like Jeff Bezos like really does anything productive?
You think he's out delivering packages? Hell no.
Yeah, the worst paid employees of his company are the hardest working, and you know that. You see it 100%.
Exactly. Like, billionaires don't work. Typically, CEOs aren't really working either.
It's not real work. It's like meetings.
Right. Exactly. And then like, also, if we want to take it down to the working class, like, yeah, we are lazy because we're fucking exhausted. Sorry, I swear a lot. It just comes out.
You can say whatever you like here.
People, like, we're so exhausted that we're going to be lazy. And, like, I don't know. I work, like, 35 to 42 hours a week, depending on the week. And, like, I feel crazy because I feel out of the ordinary because I'm spending my time on something else and not just like doom scrolling or doing something else. But I also don't have children. So taking that into account, like, the laziness already exists. People are exhausted. They don't have any time to put toward like a hobby or art or something that also contributes to the world. Or like, if we were to bring
stuff, you also like, it costs money to like do
exactly. Yes, 100%. So like, if we did have a system where like our healthcare was at bare minimum fully covered and it was like guaranteed, and we had like a higher minimum wage or like a universal income supplement where like you could supplement at least part of your income from like your job, and you could take that time to dedicate towards something else, like a hobby or any form of art that you would want to do. Like, I think the world would be a lot less lazy for the working class, and probably less lazy for those billionaires as well. I don't know. It's just such a silly argument, in my opinion, because I think the laziness that would exist already exists.
Absolutely. I don't think that laziness is necessarily like a vice,
a bad thing
people
either.
People gotta chill sometimes, right?
Right. That's another thing, is that like I hate when people use the word lazy as like a negative word. I'm like, okay, and they're lazy. What does that have to do with me? At all? What people choose to do is what they choose to do. Yeah.
It's like hard work is sort of like fetishized as like, this is how you prove to the rest of us that you are like worth keeping around. Like you have to work for the right to remain alive. That's kind of how we operate in capitalism. It's
so silly. Since when, like, I don't know. I feel like forever this facade of like hard work is good work. Is it? Like,
I don't like it.
It's like to the point where like some of the work is made hard for no reason.
Oh yeah.
It could be much easier for people to achieve, but it being difficult makes it good. It's the same outcome, whether you do it the easy way or the hard way. I don't know. I just, propaganda.
Did you read Marx in college?
I did read it a little bit, yeah.
Okay, cool.
We were required to.
Yeah? Oh, in one of your liberal indoctrination schools?
In one of my indoctrination classes. We also had to read Mein Kampf, too. So it's like,
God, what?
We did get the full
What's the value of that?
Spectrum. I guess things to watch out for, things to relate to.
It's historically significant, but I don't know that actually reading it really gets you much.
Yeah. We didn't have to read it in full. It was just like, read this excerpt and then detail X, Y, and Z, which, I don't know. It was fine, I guess.
They're trying to bait students, like they're trying to figure out like which students to be worried about.
Which side? It's like the school to prison pipeline, but instead of putting the dot next to your name in third grade because you can't read correctly, they are deciding whether you're a right winger or not.
Yeah, there's a little swastika in your file.
Yeah.
Okay, we should so since you are seeking to be a member of the legislature, and I was going to ask you this too. You were talking about how like all the models of like who gets elected to these positions of authority. It's all old white men, right? Not young people. Were you inspired when you saw people like Carter Nordman get elected into the state legislature? Who's the other young guy? I forget his name now.
I was inspired to see Angel Ramirez get elected at 26.
Sure.
With all love and compassion and kindness, I don't really get inspired when white dudes get elected to office. I mean, I'm
even the baby ones?
Even the baby ones.
Even before their brains are fully developed, you're not inspired?
I think it's good for young people to be elected everywhere, regardless of party. But also, I do think that, and this is gonna sound mean, but it is like true. Republicans follow a party line. Like, in order to run as a Republican, you have to be supported by the party. And with that, you have to like agree to vote how they want you to. They aren't being elected because of who they are. They aren't being elected because of their priorities. They're being elected because Republicans are voting for that Republican, regardless of it's a woman or a man or yada, yada, yada. Despite what like they say, when they're elected because they're a Republican and they're going to follow on the Republican Party and the Republican agenda. That is why I am less inspired when I see young Republicans get elected. Also, maybe it was last year. I forget if it was before or after the 1st of January, but the whole like young Republicans group chat leak. Oh
yeah. Was that the Iowa State thing? Is that where that happened?
Oh, I don't remember where exactly.
No. This was like a national thing that you're talking
about.
This
was a national thing where this was like all of these
years ago. Something happened at Iowa State, but yeah, continue.
Oh, the pledges.
Something
was it the pledges in the basement?
No, that was not that long ago. The Pledges in the Basement was like a year or two ago.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, the Young Republicans group chat where they were saying the N-word and stuff. Yeah.
Where they were saying slurs and like hailing Hitler and doing all of those crazy batshit things that sometimes they do. It does make it a little less inspiring.
Yeah.
Like, great. These people are running for office and getting elected. Great.
These people are writing laws that dictate the terms of my life.
Yeah. It doesn't inspire me. However, it does make me a little spiteful, which also fuels a little bit of a fire to run. Mm-hmm. So I guess it could be argued that it is a little inspiring, but just not in the way that is intended, I guess.
Yeah. So as you're seeking election to the state legislature, have you been following along like the legislative session this year, like seeing what stuff gets passed and signed into law?
Yep. Before running, I forget for how long, because how long have I been campaigning? But
you said like a year, so.
Like a year. And before co-founding our organization, I was working with Planned Parenthood to advocate specifically to restore and protect abortion rights, but also to make sure that women had access to mifepristone when needed.
Right.
Or Plan
They're really
B.
going after that now.
Yeah. And so, like, I had already been paying attention to the legislative session. And then when we co-founded our organization, we summarized the legislation to make sure people have the opportunity to be as involved as they want to be, because no one has time to go on the Iowa Legis website, find where the bill is, and then read it. Like,
it's pretty hard to navigate and read the language that they use. It's all
read the language, and then it's arcane. Also like slashed through, and the font is crazy, and you can't really zoom the best on the website. And so, like, summarizing those things. So we've followed along with like the legislative session, and I followed along with the legislative session for like 3 sessions now.
Yeah.
And I've like last year and this year I've gone in like while they're debating and into subcommittees and learned the job with like other Democratic electeds that don't represent me right now, but they've been very helpful and like super supportive, which is great because I didn't expect that in the beginning.
Because you're too radical.
Because I'm young. And there is like a weird gender divide, kind of. But also, like, it is weird because at first it was like, oh, you're too young, don't run. Oh, you're too young, don't run. Sit down, shut up, and do your time.
People really told you not to?
Yeah. Specifically people online who do not live here.
Okay, yeah.
Which is different. And then, like, now, since, like, I'm actually running the campaign and the policy on my website is supported by a lot of people in my community, and it is popular, at least it seems to be.
Yeah.
It's a lot different after campaigning for a little bit. I think maybe, like, in the beginning, people didn't, like, really think I was going to run for the office. And we're just like, just another young kid. Like, is this an assignment?
Yeah, this is a school project.
And
You're
then
trying to graduate with honors. That's all this is.
Petition filed and everything just for the assignment. I am committed now. And then, like, I hold town halls and people can actually reach me and talk to me about what they care about. And I'm at their doorstep, and like my phone number is online and people can call me at any time. Like, that I'm actually here. I'm actually running. I actually care about these things. It took a little while, not very long, but it kind of switched, like, this gender divide. And now it's like, okay, maybe she does have the sauce. And so the vibes have kind of shifted in a positive way for me. But also, I do think that with that, older electeds are kind of looking toward their way out of the legislature, which is also kind of nice to see.
You've convinced them that they can retire.
Yeah. I think 89 out of 100 members of the legislature are retired.
Like,
it's
from their day jobs. Yeah.
And so, like, the same people who are making the laws pushing young people out of the state at, like, a crazy rate are like, but why is this happening? But why don't they want to stay when they're retired making the laws?
So. And I think that your agenda is a pretty clear, like, list of reasons why not just young people, but like a lot of people are trying to get out of here.
Yeah.
Trying to criminalize abortion as much as possible and make it as hard as possible to, control your own reproductive future is,
right.
And that's not appealing to most people.
Yeah. Everyone's getting cancer. Get out while you can. Does that not scream, get out while you can? It's terrifying. And it's exhausting to like consistently be in the space and also hear like, oh, but why are they leaving? What do you mean why?
Yeah.
Like you're honestly telling me that you're
scrolling
making it online.
Really bad to live here.
Right. Like you're passing the legislation that's terrible. And then you're trying to convince the public that it's good. And they don't believe you either.
Mm-hmm.
And you're still confused. Sometimes that's pretty mind-boggling.
Yeah. Well, there's a hopelessness, right? Because we've seen the failures of the Democratic Party. People generally don't bother getting involved because it's like the Republicans have a supermajority right now. They're passing a lot of harmful legislation, making most people's lives worse. And the opposition has just weakened and weakened and weakened since Obama. And it feels like I don't know what to do. So I could leave, or I can just let my life get worse and not really be able to do anything about it.
Right. Yeah, I think. Yeah. Also, people are tired. Like young people, like it is more difficult for young people to take over county parties. One, retired people have the most amount of time on their hands, and they have the time to put into volunteering for a candidate or leading the meetings and being the treasurer and doing all of the things a county party does, where like young people are working 2 jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And then like even a little older, they got kids and they're tired because they work over 50 hours a week. Like that is a reality for almost every single family or young person in the state. They don't have time to put toward a hobby. Why would they want to come to a boring meeting?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. It's just, yeah.
Well, I've seen this multiple times. Like, I live in Johnson County, which obviously has a much more active Democratic Party. Right. But when, like, a large number of people who are, to the left of the Democratic Party and have, like, a specific need that they're hoping the party will, like, be amenable to, when these two camps meet, the party people are very hostile to any sort of like entry from the outside, and that does 100%. Not encourage like electoral success in the future, as we've seen over the past several years. Yeah,
I think. Well, even like I think it was maybe the first No Kings rally. We were organizing it, and we were like, okay, so we contacted like the County Democratic Party of Blackhawk County, and we're like, hey, do you want in on this? Like, want to join forces? Yeehaw. And she was like, yes, but you can't bring up Palestine.
Oof. That was like the first thing she said?
That was like the first thing she said while we were organizing this rally. And I was like, we can't promise that. And then like we were verifying like the speakers and making sure that, the chain of whoever was going to speak next was like approved with everyone, that we were all on the same page. And she was like, well, I really just need to reiterate that none of these young people are going to talk about Israel. Lady, shut up.
How do you feel about Israel, Leila? You're free to say whatever you like on this podcast. Thoughts on Israel?
One, they lobby in our federal government, and they're a foreign entity, and they're not registered as a foreign lobbyist, so they have like no rules, and I think they should at least have rules. I think
at least like, the rules that other foreign nations have when they lobby our government. Sure.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Also, like it goes into like the whole big money thing too. Is like the super PACs like maxing out, and then it going through like a 501c4, and then it infiltrating another campaign or the same campaign with even more money. It's like a multifaceted problem. As like a state legislature. You can't really do anything on foreign policy. We do have anti-BDS laws, though.
Yeah.
And we need to get rid of those anti-BDS laws because that's crazy.
Have you ever had a chance to like talk to Rob Sand?
I've gone to a couple of Rob Sand's town halls, and I'll like raise my hand because I want to ask questions, and I'm like directly.
No, okay.
I passed.
I bring him up because like the first time I ever saw his name come up in the news, he was defending our state's anti-BDS laws, and he was like talking about how Israel's like our greatest ally, and so it's not a controversial thing. This was back in probably 2018 or 19, so it was before like basically everyone turned against Israel finally.
Yeah.
So he'd probably be like hesitant to talk about it at all at this point, but just saying.
Probably. I hate that we only have one option, but he did post some of his policy in a video format, and he stood on like one of his toes. It was kind of nice to see. Yeah.
What are you? So like you're kind of excited about something that he's pushing.
And it's like the bar is in hell. It was something like he talks about deprivatizing Medicaid often, but he had said something regarding healthcare, and I was like, you know what? I
think that was like this week. He said something like day one, if he's elected, he would push for reversing that. Yeah. So that's definitely agree with him on that.
Yeah. So I'm like, maybe like I'm excited to vote this upcoming year just because I love voting and I'm a nerd.
And your name's going to be on the ballot.
And my name's going to be on the ballot. And I'm like,
exciting?
Sometimes I'm like, do I vote for myself or is that too crazy? Yeah.
Every vote counts, right?
Is it narcissistic?
It's narcissistic to run at all. So, I mean, that ship is
a little bit, yeah. That's true. I do care about others a lot.
No, I believe you. It's just... That's like, something we say on the show a lot is like to even consider this, you are a little bit of a narcissist.
A little bit. You have to be because you have to I agree. Yeah. So I'm excited to vote because we have a good chance of getting a Democrat in the seat of governor. Mm-hmm. I do wish it was a little bit more exciting. I don't want to spoil it and say, it's not going to be exciting at all. Hopefully he comes out and he's a little bit more bold because he's made a little bit of way to be like a little bit more bold. Maybe he can move another inch.
We'll see. I'm not
by
I'm
November.
Not going to hold my
we'll
breath
see.
for anything really, but
no.
Well, speaking of Israel, I did want to say this. When I was trying to look into your opponent a little bit, Joshua Meggers, I'm sure he's one of dozens, but when you look at what he did this legislative session, he did sign on to House Resolution 3, which was a resolution affirming Iowa's support for the state of Israel.
Yeah.
Which was, I think, one of the first things they passed this session.
Yeah. Yep.
It's very important to them.
Insane. It just doesn't make sense to me. Why are we putting effort into yay, Israel, don't clip that. When people are losing their healthcare and big whoop, you support Israel. I'll roll my eyes and if there is no other option, I guess, but then you do nothing to help other people. You're gonna make this big stance on supporting Israel and just be obnoxious about it because that's what it is. It is obnoxious. It's just a big fuck you to anybody who is not a bootlicker. But then doing nothing to address the other crises that everyone is facing, healthcare, the water quality, our public education system, the list really goes on, gestures broadly at the rest of the state.
Yeah.
But let me sign on to this weird bill that's yay, Netanyahu, I guess.
Well, I mean, we can get very sort of we can get to the fundamental philosophy here, which is a lack of respect and value for human life across the board. It's, right. Israel is a state engaged in massive destruction of everyone else in the region, anyone who is not a part of the state of Israel as they see it, as they want it to be. is subject to death. And
Right.
also here, domestically, you don't really deserve to live just by having been born. Like, you must prove your worth to the people in charge of, dictating the terms of American life.
Yeah,
and the way
but
way you prove your worth is by helping the people who already own everything continue to generate more wealth for themselves. Be a cog in the machine.
Yeah. And then
it's
they're
all
like,
part of the
but
same project.
you don't get to have an abortion, actually.
That too.
Like, it's just, everything is so hypocritical. And I think that's like, that was like not my first, but like, that is as old enough for me to be sentient. Like, governance and our politics has just been constant hypocrisy. Like, it's just so consistent. Yeah. Like, I don't believe that both sides are the same, but like, it does exist in both parties. Like,
hypocrisy.
It is just
sure, of course, yeah.
Yes.
It's a
as I run as a Democrat.
Yeah, I mean, there's no escaping it. Like,
no.
if you're gonna get involved in this, you're going to get your hands dirty. It's just the way it is.
Yeah. And the only way to change it is to be involved is the thing, where it's like, I'll talk to people about party politics often, and they're like, well, the Democratic Party, it's too right. It's right of center. And I'm like, yeah, you know who can change that? You. Like, parties are groups of people. Despite like party leadership and where the money comes from, like, a party is a group of people. That is what it is. Mm-hmm. That's what makes it. Who makes decisions? Like, the biggest decisions are made on the ground first, like in the county party infrastructure, and then it like goes up to the state party. Then from the state party,
yeah.
But no, I don't want to go to a boring meeting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And yeah, I do think that you are, in a unique position to shape the politics of your community, right? Because the Democratic Party is so hollowed out and non-existent where you live. But
right.
Yeah, it's so hard to see the like existing power structure be so resistant to like doing what needs to be done, and still think like, yeah, I'm still gonna plug away at this. It doesn't feel productive for most people, I think.
Yeah, I think like the doomsdayer of it all is like, first, like, people were propagandized into being like doomsday preppers, whether it was religion or online. Like, it's kind of funny, but it's really not funny. Like, if people have like been conditioned to lose hope and not be hopeful. Yeah, and then totally. With Gen Z, like Gen Z specifically, and maybe even like younger millennials, have been pushed to think that like caring and community and all of that is super cringy, and that like it's really cool to be nonchalant and like not care about anything. And like those like just snowballing, and then we get Trump in office and people are surprised.
Sure. Yeah, totally. I wouldn't put all of that on like your generation. I mean, I don't know if you've ever like seen the trajectory of the boomers, or like all the media that Gen X was producing in like the late 80s, early 90s. Like, it's been it's been pretty common for the past, probably getting close to a century of American life that like, everything like Cold War and on, I'd say. Yeah. It's really the reaction against communism is like, it is wrong to have any sort of like thought of like communal ownership of anything. Like, you are an individual and you need to take care of yourself and your family.
Right. And if you need help, then you're lazy.
It's your fault. You fucked up.
It's your fault. You didn't work hard enough. Now go work 10 times harder. And it's like, we can see that like exact thing play out in just like people's lives. Like, when you miss a week of work because you've fallen so incredibly ill that you can't work because people work sick all the time.
Oh yeah.
And so you take the week off, and then the next week you're like expected to do double the work that week because you were sick. You don't just get like a break. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty like straight across the board, whether it's like amount of work or like amount of hours that you need to make up for the week that you missed. Like, it's just the same across the board. It's so exhausting and it's so stupid, and it shouldn't be our system. Yeah.
Life sucks.
I don't think it should suck, though.
Yeah. It doesn't have to. I think that's the thing that it's like, we have to keep in mind that it doesn't have to suck, which makes things like there's there's a little tiny burning flame of hope within that, but it's also incredibly frustrating to know at all times that like life doesn't have to suck this bad, and yet it does.
Right. But it like doesn't have to be. That's one of the hardest things to like convince people, is that like it doesn't have to be hard at all. We are the richest country in the nation. In the nation. We're the richest nation in the world. We're the only country in the nation.
Richest country
we're the
in the nation.
Richest country in the world.
Yeah.
And there are still people living in the street. Mm-hmm. Despite the fact that we have enough money and enough land mass and enough money for resources to make sure no one has to live on the street.
A lot of empty
or miss out
right
on
now.
healthcare. Yeah. Like, it's just, it doesn't have to be this way. And but it always has been. And that's, come on.
But
it
it's
doesn't
a
have
choice.
to be.
Yeah.
It is a choice. It's a choice that everyone actively makes every single day, is to continue living like this. I don't get it.
It's very hard to go any other way. It's hard to see how we get there. So we're all butting our heads against the wall forever.
Right. And like we can get hurt and like need to go to the hospital and we can't cover the appointment.
Well, yeah, Leila, we filled over an hour very easily. This is our first time.
I will
meeting.
yap forever.
Very happy to meet you. I'm glad that you're so easy to talk to.
Thanks.
I can see that that's like doing wonders for your political career, that you are so like so outgoing, so easy
excited
to
start.
Before we wrap it up, tell me like what is your number one priority if you were to get into office? Or you could pick at random. Doesn't have to be your number one. Just give me one of them.
Our public education system, because we don't want a stupid population. And then like a stupid population just leads into like another healthcare crisis and another cancer crisis and another water crisis. We need educated people that will continue to fix the problems that we have and that will occur later on. To public education.
Yeah. And, I think that is a right of all people is for everybody to be able to get the education they want and need. And we're undermining that right now by siphoning public school funds into private schools. And even the cities, the school boards in the cities right now are like really fucked up financially because of all this meddling from the state. And it could get a lot worse. Like, it's not looking good in Iowa City or Cedar Rapids right now. Those are the two places I pay the most attention to. And I would like us to still have public schools. I think that's...
Me too. I think public schools are kind of like the backbone of societies everywhere. But specifically here, like in the House district that I'm running to represent, we have one private school and it's a K through 8. No students graduating from it. So we don't have private schools, yet our public schools are still being actively defunded because of the new way that they do the funding.
Right.
Ew.
Right. Yeah.
But it's gotten to the point where like staff is getting laid off. Teachers and other staff members are resigning from multiple schools in the district. They're already sharing staff, like choir teachers and school counselors and social workers and like other teachers too. Obviously,
that's even happening like in our urban centers, which should have the resources already.
Right, and I'm pretty sure like it is like the end goal of the Republican agenda to limit counties down to one school. So there's a county school and then a bunch of charter and private schools. Like that is where we're headed. That is what their goal is, because then they don't have to teach students that think differently or look different or are different or can't walk. It's just so... they want segregated schools.
Yes.
That is what their goal is. They want segregated schools. And like, it's so frustrating. Like 2 of my siblings have autism and my sister graduated high school, but Spencer, my youngest brother, he's 14. His birthday's this week. Like he's already had a tough time in school. Like he's already struggled enough. Why do we want to put kids through even worse experiences? Like I'm going to go on another tangent and I know that I've been on here for an hour, but like I would argue that children are the most oppressed people in the country. And I know that sounds like that sounds kind of like privileged, but children are the most oppressed people in this country because they have no right. They can't advocate for themselves in any scenario. They don't have the opportunity to make a living, to get themselves out of any said scenario. They have no power at all. And they just have to, and then like their funding is cut the most and their opportunity is cut the most. All of the policy that's coming out of like the state government and the federal government impact the kids more than they will me. And I'm 22. Like it's hurting them the most out of anyone else.
Can I interject with something I read earlier today?
Yes.
So one of the bills that our governor signed yesterday, it's House File 2523. Do you know about this one?
Which one is, what is it?
Here's the summary on the legislative website. A bill for an act establishing the right of a parent or guardian of a minor child to consent to and authorize certain medical services over the minor child's objection. So they altered an existing law so that basically they can commit children to confinement for mental illness, like even if the kid is saying like I don't want to do this, like parents are allowed to force it. Like it's just, I don't know like what the motivation was here. I don't know that like this was a real problem we needed to solve, or if it's just like chalking up another win for like, quote unquote parental rights.
Right. I think the latter.
Yeah.
But also like the bills regarding conversion therapy and like even
foster
like
care
going
and stuff.
And foster care. And then also flipping to like the recent bill that took away like a child's right to an HPV vaccine.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like despite their parents' feelings about it. All of it is just like kids can't protect themselves in any way. They can't stand up for themselves in any way. And it's
Zero
just
autonomy.
So disgusting.
Don't let them read any books that mention sex either at the library.
Right. Yeah. No books that mention like no book that like comes from the point of view of not bending the knee to authoritarianism. Like It's so gross. Like no books about any worldview other than like a Christian white families.
Mm-hmm.
And like, why is the hate you get banned? Animal Farm is banned.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous for kids to know about this
It's so
stuff.
dangerous. These kids are going to read these books and then they're going to become radical libtards. Shut up. Let the kids read the damn books.
I mean, that Animal Farm is anti-communist. So, like, they should be so happy about that. I just, I don't understand. Animal Farm is, like, basically a reactionary book.
Yeah, I don't think they've read it.
No, they've never read anything.
I don't think the people who are banning these books have ever read them. Or, if they have, they're just, like, extremely hateful for no reason.
They're just doing, like, they're finding, like, a PDF and they're Control F, like, boob or something. That's how I read books, to be fair. I'm looking for the good parts. Well, I think that Leila makes a great point that we should remember, as our state government makes life harder for us as adults, children are also a pretty major target of our state government recently. And who better to advocate for the children than somebody who was a child not so long ago, Leila Staton.
That's it. The Republican op is using that. She's been an adult for no time.
Basically still a kid.
Basically still a child. Leila, she's 16.
Well,
she just got her driver's license.
Is there a minimum age for state legislators? What is the age?
Yes. It's 21.
Okay, there you go. Well, you cleared the bar.
And, like, I'd be the youngest woman elected, but the youngest man elected will probably never be beat. It's Pat Grassley. He turned 21 like 2 weeks before he was sworn in.
Really? I didn't realize he was so young. He's been there for a while.
Yeah. He's been there for about my lifespan.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he still holds the record for like being the youngest elected.
Yeah. It is a hard record to beat 2 weeks before the election.
It is.
Or when he was sworn in.
We need somebody sworn in.
Yeah.
Because like if you run, it's just like by inauguration.
Right. So he
like
won
even
the election as a 20-year-old.
Yes.
Disgusting.
Yeah. I kicked off campaign when I was 21, but if elected, I'll be 23, which is just crazy to think about. Like, that's a long time.
That's a good percentage of your life so far.
Right, exactly. Like, I've spent 1/36 of my life. I have no idea. I'm really bad at math.
It's more than that.
Campaigning. I don't know. Yeah, definitely.
Where can people go to find out more about you, and should they follow you on TikTok or whatever?
You can follow me on TikTok. I am on there. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. They're all Leila for Iowa, LEILAFOR Iowa. And then my website is Leila for Iowa, spelled the same way.com. I'm aware of the typo. I haven't had time to fix it.
Yeah, when
There's
you pull
actually
up the
quite
website,
a couple
it says
on there.
Leila Staton in a 22-year-old advocate. It says in instead of is. Yeah.
Yes. It also says like endorsements or something. Like endorsements is spelled incorrectly on there, but like it's totally fine.
It's part of the charm. It's part of your character.
The reality of running for office while working is that you do things like build your website at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And sometimes the typos do escape you, but I'm human. I make typos. It happens, and they'll get fixed eventually. Just probably not today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just talk to her. She doesn't make typos when she speaks. I think people will understand where you're coming from. You seem to be a more exciting advocate for humanity than Joshua Megger, the state trooper. So I hope the best for your campaign. I'm very glad to have met you. Thank you for coming on our show. Is there anything else that you want to get out there?
I don't know. I think if you're listening to this and you're doing nothing, and your friends don't know that you don't like what's happening, your friends should know that you don't like what's happening. And your community should know that you don't approve of what's happening right now with like the federal or the state administration. And if you don't like it and you're doing nothing about it, there's one thing you can do, and that's talk to people. So do that. It's literally how change is made. Yeah.
I can co-sign that. All I'm doing is talking, basically. For an hour a week, I just talk shit into a microphone. Like, what am I really doing? I don't know.
I mean, I think that the talking shit into a microphone for an hour is very valid. I also would argue that like running for office is just constantly talking shit, whether it's like Republicans do it and they lie most often. Democrats will do it and sometimes they lie. I try my best not to. I don't know everything. I know some things. I'm also not afraid to say that I don't know. And that's like really important for people who are running for office to like admit is that you cannot know anything, not know everything.
It's a weakness.
It's a weakness to not know everything. No. You can go and you can Google is literally in your pocket. You can Google it later on.
Scroll past the AI results. Don't
scroll past. I will Google things and put minus AI because it pisses me off so much every time I see it. I'm asked all the time because I'm one of the youngest candidates in Iowa and understand the implications and the negativities of AI. That is like one of the top things I'm asked about is like, are you in favor of regulating AI? I'm like, bitch, have you met me? Yes, of course I want to regulate AI. I don't think you should be able to tag Grok on a picture of a child and ask for it to make it like a nude photo. I think that's crazy.
Yeah, on the subject of protecting our children, I think that's another good point.
Literally.
Yeah.
If for anything, do it for the kids.
All right. Well, thanks again, Leila. Thanks everyone for listening. This has been Rock Hard Caucus 247. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Yay. Bye-bye.
Okay. Here, I'm going to record the plug section now that Leila's gone. Apologies to Evan, if he's listening, for, once again, forgetting to send him the link until it was too late, and so he forgot that we were recording, too. It's not his fault. It's my fault. But I think that I handled myself okay. One-on-one interview for an hour plus. I mean, yeah, she was great. What a great guest. All right, plugs real quick. I am playing a show this coming Friday, May 8th at Public Space 1 in Iowa City. Emily Rock Beisel, bass clarinetist, is on tour and will be performing at Public Space 1. I'm going to play a set. Gabby Vandick's going to play a set. I'm telling you, you were going to want to be there. This is incredible music. Public Space 1, May 8th, 7:30 in Iowa City. If you have any thoughts about anything that we talked about today and you would like to make your thoughts known, or any of your other thoughts, please give us a call or text at 319-849-8733. We'd love to hear from you. Your voicemails may end up on a show that we do on our Patreon called Rock Hard Call Us, of which there is a brand new episode, just came out the other day. You can find it at patreon.com/rockhardcaucus. $1 per month for audio, $5 per month for video. They call it the best deal in podcasting. That's what they've been saying. I can't really back that up with data, but that's what people have been telling me. Best deal in podcasting, patreon.com/rockhardcaucus. We're going to close out with some local music now, as we often do. If you have music that you would like me to play on the show, please send it to me. There is a link at the top of our website, rockhardcock.us. You could also email, DM, whatever the hell you want. But we're going to close out now with a track by the Christine Burke Ensemble. This is Quintet for Duo and Trio. It's a clever title because quintet means 5, duo means 2, and trio means 3, and 5 equals 2 plus 3. So quintet for duo and trio works out mathematically. We just released a new album that you can find at christineburke.bandcamp.com. It's called Recent Works. It's got 2 compositions by me, 2 compositions by Levi Raleigh Brown, and 1 by Christine Burke. christineburke.bandcamp.com. Here's an excerpt, a little taste of it. Please go check it out. It's brand new. We recorded it last year and worked really hard on it. I'm glad that it's finally seeing the light of day, and I would love for you to hear it. All right, that's all. Thank you, Leila, for coming on. Thank you out there, everybody, for listening. Good night.